So what do I want to see for today? I don't think we're going to reach these lows. Today we could dump, honestly. Crazy. I don't know if there's any news. Could be NFP. Oh shit. That already happened. Should be good. Okay. Alright, so on the daily, what did Pierce do this week? So the framework would be internal to external, and Q is the weakest asset, lean asset actually. I got 15 minutes, I gotta hurry up. But we're creating advanced premium to discount with YM. As you can see here, YM's above range high on Tuesday of this week. Wow. Is my mic working? Please tell me it is. Yes, it is. And then on in Q, we actually created Wednesday of the week, but we are below range low. So while ES is more at OT of this range, clearly NQ is the weakest asset within the triad. YM is the strongest, right? So we're getting advanced premium to discount. Then we've seen some form of strength switching here with YM. Doesn't matter. What matters is framework internal external profile Wednesday high of the week, C2, Thursday C3, and then I'm looking for Friday C4 continuation to reach for to create the daily expansion candle to reach for external energy liquidity. These clean as failure swings on NQ, which makes sense. We got that. SMD with this high here, holding reversal, continuation. That's not a reversal. You can't view that as a reversal, so it makes sense to, you know, where it clearly fell into reverse. Look, it was yeah, we did that. On Friday, clearly fell into reverse away from the swing point, which would make sense. So because of the failure swings, right? So Friday continuation looks clean on the daily. Let's get out of where. Clean for me to trade. I think the forward profile is super unclean. We're creating Asia, so the framework, there is no framework. It should be internal to external. I hate when the forever has no framework. For the or if there's no SMT with the framework, the key level itself. Asia reversal is super annoying. But today's creating Asia reversal. 6 AM is creating SMT with current day high. Of course, YM is the asset that's creating that SMT. YM took current day high, the strongest asset. So ideally, well, NQ the weakest asset failed too, but so ideally it's Asia reversal 6 AM GXT line sequence C2 bearishly. I'm gonna wait for the driver to. I'm gonna wait for 10 AM and for the driver to confirm the narrative, because I don't. This shit's honestly not that clean. Six AM doesn't really support that expansion bearishly too. Think about it. There's a fuck ton. Let me actually put my notes. Check the structural time frame out. You see what is price doing prior to the driver having done this yet? Actually, fuck. Yeah. Fire candles real quick. So, yeah, it's also the fact that price is overextended bearish. I didn't put that on this. Price is overextended bearishly, like we're just extremely bearish. So we kind of should do external to internal, but I don't want to see that because price doesn't really support the expansion portion. So ideally, if anything, the driver creates SMT with this level during the driver, and then we reverse lower. But I don't know. I was doing something. God damn it, dude. But yeah, we don't really support that expansion bullshit. Yeah, there was something else I wanted to mention as well, but it doesn't matter. This PA is just like chop. This is full on just chop. I don't know what you would call this. This is definitely a consolidation though. Right? It's just immediate retracement, deep ass retracements into the range. To each range. This is full on chop. And realistically there's no reason to go lower until we take this high out here, which is the 4-hour gap. So it actually makes sense to demand, if I'm going to trade today, during the driver, price has to manipulate away from this gap, pretty much. I think that's what I should demand. We're not going to get that though. I've seen the driver do some crazy shit where it'll just go easily without any issue, but I don't know. It's been lately, price has been super fucking slow. Like it hasn't. The driver hasn't been crazy lately, so it's been letting me down steadily. But what I do notice is price did create that CSD here, and then the driver's open, like prior to the driver, part of 9 AM when I already said that ideally we continue. I think ideally I would like to see the driver head higher. We got that V shape, right? So I think this is pretty logical to assume. Reversal V shape prior to the driver. 9 AM is retracing into that key level, closing in 6 minutes. So most likely we're going to close like this. The driver's going to open up in this key level, so ideally the driver just immediately reverses higher, takes this high out, and then reverses lower during 10 AM. Right, whatever. That's what I see. That's my game plan. If I don't see that going into 10 AM, I don't think I'm going to trade. I don't think I'm going to trade 10 AM reversal. Like 6 AM could reach this level like at 950 or right before 10 AM, or maybe fall shy of it right before 10 AM, and then 10 AM could reverse away from it. But I don't know if I want to trade that, because that would be a very weird daily candle formation where we just open lower, head higher, manipulate the key level to then go lower, which would be the opposite of what you would want to see, right? You would want to see the open high fluid high of day, and then open, or what was it? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, bullshit, whatever. You don't want to see that, but open high, low close, super clean, fluid. But yeah, that would be super unclean, especially since. So like the ideal scenario, because like that's what I would have to say. I would have to see price manipulate this lower. So the ideal scenario would be the driver. It somehow has the strength to reverse away from this key level, hit this key level, the 4-hour level that I want to see the high day form off of, and then reverse reverse away from like create the swing weight. The 6 AM candle doesn't even have to reverse away. Like I don't expect the 6 AM candle to reach this level and then reverse back below this high, back into the previous candle's range to create that C2 within 30 minutes. I really don't see that, but it could happen. But it doesn't have to, as long as 10 AM opens up within a GXT continuation sequence, then I'll take that. But that's ideally what I see. Ideally, I see. YM being the strongest asset, but doesn't really look that much stronger compared to NQ, because NQ and YM, they're kind of like relative. I mean, YM's or NQ is kind of closer to this high than YM is. Like, but YM is the strongest asset. I have displaced it away from it strongly, but I was hoping that YM was closer to this high, so we could see like NQ could create SMT or some shit with it. But yes, it's gonna be the same, but slightly weaker. I could trade the driver to the side. I just don't want to do that though. I just want to go against. I can't go against the vibes. Logically thinking, speaking, like everything bearishly, everything is pointing towards bearishness on the daily. I gotta look for continuation, right? Going down to lower time frames. So on the 4-hour effect, frame bearishness. Right now, the 4-hour line bearishly. No, it's not. We don't really support expansion bearishly, to be honest. The 6 AM candle is kind of like indecisive right now. I don't know what we're doing. I gotta wait. I honestly gotta wait for 10 AM. It really depends on how this candle closes and how I can frame an entry going into 10 AM. Right? I don't know what we're doing. It's really not that clean, 6 AM. So I gotta wait. And as of right now, we're extremely bearish. Price is kind of still far away from these lows. So we could definitely do external to internal. We could definitely retrace back into the range, but I don't want to trade that. I don't want to go into the daily wise. I just don't like it. It's not clean. So if I'm not gonna do that, then I gotta anticipate price manipulating away from this gap, or maybe even if 6 AM closes like this, honestly, or if the driver reverses away from this, I would be fine with that. We don't have to retrace into this gap. You know, the daily candle supports expansion bearishly. Fuck, it's almost like I'm forgetting my model. Let me see right now. Hold on, let me just go back. Yeah, like I said, I hate this for time frame right now. The profile is horrible because there's no framework. But ideally, it would be internal to external, but there's no SMT. So it's just I have to work with Asia reversal, and then 6 AM either it's going to create this C2 here, the GXT alliance sequence. Okay, yeah, let's run through the sequences if it's strongest. So yeah, if 6 AM just closes with a C2 reversal like this, then I'll just look simply for 10 AM continuation, etc. But I really don't know what 6 AM is going to do. Ideally, it does though hit higher, reaches the key level in the 4-hour, and then manipulates away from it. Right? But so that's ideally what we do. There we go. I'm being stupid right now. Okay, fucking feel like smoking before trading is smart. I don't think it's a bad thing. But I do feel like it makes me super fucking slow. I forget shit way too easily. When am I think I need to try mushrooms. I probably shouldn't be saying that in mine. Oh well. Yeah, it does. Okay. Already this driver's weak. We'll see though. See, it's like it's the Mickey level. It would be crazy if it reverses lower, to be honest. Ideally, we get that 6 AM. Like, no matter what I'm waiting for 10 AM, I don't even care about the driver. I'm not gonna be greedy. So ideally, it's just it's a clean C2, actually, during 6 AM. I don't even care if the driver just reverses lower now and it doesn't head higher to wipe out all these further swings. So just technically, you can count this as a relevant swing to this high, and there was SMT with that. Realistically, so I think I count that as that's good enough to me, to be honest. Looks good to me. So if the driver reverses lower here, I'll be okay with it, I suppose. Because that is currently high as well. It's a very significant high. So why is it? But realistically, I don't think we are going to reverse away from it because it's looking a little sus. I don't know. I don't overthink it, but I know why it is. You took the high, right? Which is a relevant swing. Create SMT. And then price immediately following that SMT stayed with an consolidation, right? We inside board. Manipulating range low during the driver. So we'll see if that's enough to cause NQ and all this to get higher. Possibly, maybe if NQ, if we somehow with the drivers, you know, it's only 2 minutes in, so a lot can happen, I suppose, within 30 minutes. But maybe if the driver at that point takes this high out, which would cause NQ, you know, YM to show that strength switch. I don't think YM was gonna I don't think YM will reach that high, obviously, unless NQ fails to manipulate this high at that point. But I think that if NQ does pick up strength to take this high, YM won't, which would show strength switching on YM, because YM is the strongest asset, NQ is the weakest, for YM to catch up to NQ, right? I think that's pretty logical. Because right now, NQ is within discount of this range. This is probably not going to be a good, actually. They look like they're the same, but it's not. On a daily, it's completely different. But still, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Because as you can see, stronger, weaker, weakest asset, strongest asset. Alright. Right. So, it's not looking bad. This is pretty shit. YM's worse than lower. You still count this as internal external framework. 6 AM manipulation. SMT with current high. Which is interesting. And obviously, if we're going to be bearish, you wouldn't want to trade NQ as the as it's the weakest or leading asset, of course. But it's like the drivers wanting to slightly, barely, not really, reverse lower. This is so slow. So yeah, so assuming just C2, C3, C4, and it actually makes sense on the weekly for the bias, since NQ is the weakest asset leading asset virtually, and because with SMT theory and because of the just PA theory and all that, it makes sense for NQ to fail to respect this reversal here that happened on Friday last week. To fail to respect discount C over previous week's range. So, which obviously, clearly, this week is not wanting to go higher. So, like I said, everything looks clean. The daily bias, I'm fucking what I do. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see at first, but I failed. Alright. Okay, let's run through it again. Internal external profile Wednesday of the week. Great. Thursday C3. Friday C4. Right. SMT theory, super clean. 2 stage SMT, string switching, below with the base visual. Advanced perimeter discount, below with everything supports the weekly bias. The Y price should take these for these swings. Y price should not go higher, instead respect internal external. And Friday for it to make the daily swing for continuation lower, right? Or from the higher the weeks are. So Friday should respect EQ, the pretty range, or dropping on the third, or final bottom on the third. It would be this gap, technically we should have done open high into this gap, the internal external, but Saturday price fell to create that clean open high fluid motion, daily candle formation, or candle formation in general that we like to see from the bearish, right, etc. But we still have 6 a.m. is, it's clean enough because we're creating S&P with current to high. You have 6 a.m. creating the higher day technically because of YM created that SMT with current to high, so 6 a.m. manipulation. Or you can think of it as Asia reversal higher day 6 a.m. C2 GXT aligning sequence. But I just don't like how extremely bearish we are. But fuck it, I think this is still clean enough. So I'm still going to count this as internal and external bearishly, even though, because it technically is, I mean, I can view this as a retracement into internal liquidity, even though there's no gap, we didn't retrace into a gap. It's pretty shit, PA, I don't know. Fuck, yeah. But we'll see how the driver closes, because it's really not wanting to go lower as strongly as I would like to, which may seem like I'm overthinking it, but I don't know. All right, and then what else do we have? Yeah, so framework, internal, external profile, 6 manipulation, 10 a.m. continuation, and then we have the S&T with current high showing still NQs the weakest as of. I've already determined that based on the daily and all that. Anyways, so I think this is good enough for. So 20 minutes of closure, it's only been 10 minutes, holy shit. I'm in. It's looking better now. So another thing is, the driver is going to reach. Oh, the driver is reaching a significant low and away. It's kind of a relevant swing. So the price could manipulate that, or we could see some form of like deep retracement back in the range continuing that. I don't like how far price is to this low, but I mean that's really not that far. That's perfect. That's fine. That's good enough. State supports expansion ratio, so. So C3 reversal unless there's S&T on the other side. So C3 reversal 10 AM C4 GXT continuation sequence. Right. That's what I was afraid of. It just proves my point even more that we have to take this high out in order to go lower. So. I don't know if I would count these as relevant swings. It could. It is pretty spaced out. Could manipulate this and go lower. I suppose. I just can't trade this as 6A manipulation bullshit. Or for 10 AM continuation. Into internal range of liquidity, I can do that. Because I'd be going against the daily bias. See what happens. Clear to say that. It's obvious to say that's logical to say that this SFT is fake. That's gonna break definitely, but will we manipulate the side to go over, or will we need to reach for the side? If the driver manipulates the side, why trade titanium continuation bearishly? Hopefully titanium doesn't force higher to take the side for right more. Come on, Titanium, or driver, come on. I don't think we have any news. I think we had CPI 3, right? Yeah. Show us rates. Did nothing. Yeah, now it's acting all weak and shit. It's crazy. Let's see what it looks like. do a thing where I told myself that I would make try to make $250 randomly, just trade my model. We'll just take off for like a very low RR. There's like risk a high amount. It sounds stupid. It was a gamble, yes, but realistically it should pay. It sounds stupid. It sounds like I'm just trying to overtrade, but yeah, this is not wanting to reverse alert. I think we have to. But 60 minutes to closure. This is horrible. Would have been ideal too if the driver opened, took either this high or this high, doesn't matter, both of them highs. Maybe, but it didn't take this high at first. It said open higher, took one of these highs out, and then Titanium opened up around here, and we saw like equal lows down here. Even though we still do have equal lows down here, it's just be much better. So now, he had the drivers just fell into reverse away from this SMT here between YM, or it's found to just do anything really. It's not wanting to break this SMT, you then go lower. It's not wanting to do anything really. Yeah, it hit it lower, but what have we been doing? We've just been making new level lows this entire time. I don't care if it makes a new level low. I want to see price take this high out to go lower. And the driver's just not doing shit, so it's really shit PA. So when Titanium opens up, and if it's gonna open up like this, am I gonna trust this C2? Knowing that, damn, why would we fall shy of this high again? So, ideally, I want to make it a goal, or not a goal, but a rule to maybe not trade if the driver fails to manipulate away from this high, at least. I honestly don't think it should reverse away from anything until it reaches this high here. Like, I think that, because this will be, oh, I mean, this will be a swing break. It is a roller swing, so it could be enough. Pretty sure. But, yeah. So but yeah, this is really fucking shit. And the driver as well. Like, that's really slow shit, yeah. I want to figure out why. I think it's mainly because, like, daily candle formation. I think it's because yesterday expanded lower greatly, and then today kind of continued that expansion. Really extremely bearish, so we can't expand forever, so we're definitely going to see some form of pullback eventually. And so the fact that doing that prior to 6 AM would be consolidate, and then of course price going into 6 AM opened up, just immediately hit a lower again, reversing off of this swing point here, and then hit higher to making the open low high. So just many things are going against the bearish bias because small things that really don't matter, but that shit is still pretty annoying. It makes PA just a little bit shittier, but I don't know if I want to trade this as, let's see where we're start. I mean, I'll take that S&T. So we're holding that S&T here, but we're creating actually two state S&T. We got that driver reversal. It's really shit though. It's really fucking slow. Not ideal. It's a very weak C2. It's just, so it's like, okay, if we're gonna actually, yeah, let me think logically. Fuck, that's what we just not. Fuck, that sucks. That sucks. Alright, but no, this makes sense. This is a good lesson though. This is a very weak C2. So if Tenium's gonna open up with C2 and make C3. Well, let me see the fluid. Let me see the CSD on the E5 with you. Right, is the V shape clean? Because I would have to demand a very clean V shape formation. With a weak C2, ideally, I probably would demand a CICC or a C, for Tenium to create the CSD, a protected swing instead of trading. Or hoping that price respects the CSD that form prior to Tenium, but like this shit looks sexy, but it's really shifty though. So because the driver is just so nothing looks clean. This is really, yeah. Honestly, though, ideally, though, honestly, if you think about what should have happened, is I think what would have been clean is like if NQ being the weakest asset lead nest that took the solo out here first in the driver, and then YM maybe was above this high, whatever, still up here. There's many things that could have made this cleaner, but it was up here, and then Tenium opened up here or whatever, and then we that we have SMT here. But let's say actually driver were slower, all assets were slower. The lead asset took this low out, creating that failure SMT at that point, and then we could trade YM as the lagging asset to catch up. Right? There's many things that could have made this cleaner, especially with SMT. But it's just the fact that PA is just very weak and consolidated, like very indecisive, and just choppy right now. So when times are like this, when prices shit like this, you gotta just be very picky, very picky. Like you can't just like you get that feeling like you want to trade, you feel like you have to because if you don't, you fail. That's why I set a goal for myself to, if there's no trade for the day, try to make like $100 or $250 or some shit randomly. And that seems like a small goal, but it's a lot. It's a lot. I could still be a lot. Like I could still lose a lot, or I could still. But it means more. Okay, I'm stupid. But it means more than because it means that I'm greedy. I just want to trade, and it's okay with just doing nothing. Like I gotta be okay with it. We're just not trading and being picky, and yeah. And right now, today is just not looking appetizing. I suppose it's not looking delicious. The Tenium opened up. We got that GXT continuation sequence. Everything's bearish, right? Everything's aligned. Daily for bearishly. 60 manipulation, 10 a.m. C3 continuation. Drawn down to the 30 minute. What do we got? That's a horrible delivery prior to the driver. Prior to 10 a.m. This looks like a really weak C2 because of honestly what makes it weak mainly is because of what we reached prior to 10 a.m. as well. We took it slow prior to 10 a.m. But ideally 10 a.m. respects premium work CE. Right here. Creates that GXT continuation sequence C3. 5 and 5. What do we got? We don't have that CSD, that V shape doing C2, so like I gotta wait for. I mean, that's what we can I guess a valid entry, so I suppose. Do I want to wait though? Do I want to wait? That's the question. Because we held it SMT here. I demand more confirmation on my entry, although we do have a large ass range to capitalize on. The price is looking super weak right now too. It's a Friday, so it's a low probability, but yeah, I think I probably should wait. Like if today is really gonna expand the average slow, it's definitely gonna provide a continuation entry. So like why stress it? I might as well just wait. Play the smart with it. a hard thing for me to do. This is a very shitty PA right now. You put the 30-minute one in. Just 10 investors right for this. This guy's just dumb. this PA is as clearly found worse away from this S&D and shit. I don't think we're gonna go lower until price takes like this high out, which would be the 4-hour gap or some shit. I think we're gonna. I don't know. Maybe it does reverse over still, but there's no reason to. We're just dropping at this point. Stand within consolidation again. But create an S&D. That's. And then let's see here. Yeah, so we're probably just gonna retrace it back into the range. So makes sense. We're so far from these lows. It makes sense. We don't really need to. We can just die off on Friday. It's all good. This can be the objective for next week, possibly. But I'm not trading today though. This PA is too slow, too risky, lower probability. Not worth it. For me anyways.